We let George come back and co-host the show, and that's George spelled Jorge, if you're interested. And after he stickered up everybody's car, started waving his flag around, we got into the good stuff. That first-rate information passed on by second-rate hosts. We talk about how to set up a steering damper, different ways to tune your bike, and if you do some tuning to your bike and it stops running, we talk about what the problem is. There's all kinds of questions about the bikes we test, and we drop a few other random nuggets of knowledge. So if you're wondering how this podcast gets to you, you got to thank the fine folks at Rekluse for bringing it to you. And Rekluse makes automatic clutches, and they make them for adventure bikes. So if you want your adventure to be a lot smoother, easier going, all because you don't have to work on the clutch, with your fingers that is, check out Rekluse. That's www.rekluse.com. That's rekluse.com. And now here's the show. So live from Pahrump, this is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about, what do we talk about, George?
Dirt bikes and dirt bike related questions.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's almost exactly
but
what
some
we talk
adventure bikes and other things, fuel, the best oil.
We talk about motocross too.
Yeah.
Trail riding. Enduro, but we won't tell you where we ride. Yeah, all those kind of things. Luckily for you, because I wouldn't do it anymore. This show is brought to you by KTM, and KTM has a little ad read that we like to have our co-host read. So let's hear in your you've done it before, in your announcer voice. Put poor little Logan to shame. And no, Logan didn't just age 70 years.
Powered by a distinct ready-to-race mentality, KTM is the world's leading high-performance street and off-road sport manufacturer. With North American headquarters based in Murrieta, California. Over the years, KTM has built a reputation as a fierce competitor of racetracks around the world, and the brand's remarkable global success is reflected in every product it fouled it up. It's on a roll. Develops in every move it makes.
Don't worry, you already missed a word.
I know, right in the beginning.
Sport motorcycle manufacturer.
Well, we know they're motorcycles. They do that three-wheeler thing too, don't they? They have a little race car.
The Oxbow. Yeah, no, that's the car department. Is it three-wheeled? No, I think it's four. I think it's four-wheeled.
Yeah, it might be four.
It's four-wheeled. So that's I don't know. Logan will give you the grade. Logan's probably watching to see if his job's in jeopardy.
Logan's probably on a date.
Really? Think so?
Yeah.
He's on crutches.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do if
got
I
a lot of sympathy.
Injured. Yeah, sympathy date. That's how you get the ladies. Okay, thanks everybody for joining in. Good to see everybody again. You can see all the people in the chat room. Everybody wonders where this show evolves from, where it comes from. Live from Pahrump, Nevada is where we're at. We affectionately say the Valley of the Dirt People. I put a nice picture of the dust cloud that this place was blowing up. In the last couple of days we had, what was our winds here? They weren't that bad. They were only like 35, 40, did you say? 30, yeah. Consistent 30. Yeah, just batten down the hatches a little bit, get used to it. We have, what else do we have? Oh yeah, I was going to tell you how this show works. If you're new to this show, we do it live on Facebook every Tuesday night. Usually have a taco or a beer. In this case, we had some pizza, even though Bob grabbed the wrong sign that said we're eating tacos. Then, amazingly, it gets put up onto YouTube. And I don't know how that happens because I have Logan do it sometimes. But I used to have this other guy do it, and he wasn't very good, not nearly as efficient. That's why it took till Friday.
Don't be so mean.
That's why we replace people. If they're not on their toes, it's a revolving door around here. And
Come on.
I'm serious. I'm gonna have to probably do it this week. I'm not sure, but so it probably won't get done. Then hopefully I'll fire myself and I don't have to do it again, and we'll be all good. So, with that, and then it makes its way into the podcast world where we throw it up and you can find it on all your favorite podcasting. So maybe you're listening to it on one of those right now, and you wonder, how can I get my question in? Well, you can send us an email. You can post it up on the YouTube video. We usually fish through those and see where the comments are coming through. Or you can be here live with us in the chat room, like a lot of our people are. George, all your fan club must have joined into the chat room. It's looking a little busy in there. Like there's,
so?
Yeah, we're up over. We're a few over, and everybody's happy that you're there. They said. And you told them to post too when you sent it out to your 7 social media followers. You said post 12. You said to post in the room and tell everybody you're here, because it's eating up a lot of bandwidth here.
I know. I just realized I was logged onto yours. So
can we just talk about the motorcycle stuff now?
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, and if you ordered a T-shirt in the last week, I haven't got to it at all. I just too busy.
Hey, Eric Hermestad wants to know if we can talk about the settings on a Scott stabilizer. How do you set up for different levels of riders?
Yeah, we can absolutely talk about that. Do we want to talk about it right now?
Well, he
put it in the chat room. Then we're going to go straight to that. So Scott's steering stabilizer has basically 3 main functions, valving adjustments in it. So the one is the knob that you see with the little. It's a lot of times a little black arrow. It's the knob you can twist easily with your fingers. That's the low speed compression. And then right next to it, on the right-hand side, is usually it's covered by a little black plastic thing. There's a screwdriver adjustment in there, and that is the high speed compression. And then on the sides of the damper, there are 2 flat-bladed screw adjustments, and those adjust the sweep. And generally, for off-road, the way that they come set, and I don't know the exact number of degrees, but the sweep is pretty good. So what it does, what makes the Scott's kind of unique, is that it dampens away from center, but not back to center. So we call that free back to center. So imagine you're riding your bike, or your bike's on the stand and your handlebars are straight. When you turn the bars away from center, there's going to be some damping. And it goes and it goes and it goes, and then it will, at some point, break free and go out to the edge. So that's what we call the sweep. That's the sweep adjustments. So,
but the street bike's exactly opposite, isn't it? Their street version?
The street one dampens both directions. It dampens back to center, and a lot of times on the street bikes, they actually free up the sweep a lot earlier than the dirt bike. So yeah, there's definitely some different settings in there that you can play with. You hear that? Where's that high pitch whine? Good. I just take it out of there. We won't hear it that way. So the sweep don't really, they're in the, and that the damper comes with a really good manual, by the way, that will tell you everything I'm telling you and quite a bit more, but it won't be as simple because you actually have to read. And I know how people are these days. So there's the high speed and the low speed adjustment are the 2 things you're really going to play with. And the way I run mine is I have very little low speed damping. So in other words, you can't feel it when you're just turning the bars. And I have a little bit more than where they are typically set standard in high speed damping. So it kicks in a little bit sooner when the steering tries to get, hit or knocked by something. In other words, knocked out of line.
So on the high speed, if you turn it up, does it actually increase the resistance through the full stroke
Nope.
from center off? It just how quick it reacts to it?
And that's one of the things that makes the Scots kind of unique is that the high and low speed are pretty independent of each other, if not completely independent of each other. There is some overlap a little bit, but not nearly as much as like the other one is the Pro Moto Billet one. They have a damper, or is it Fastway? I think it's called the Fastway one, and the overlap on the high and low speed is noticeable. Now, whether it's a good or a bad thing is up to you. If you want to turn one knob and have both of them stiffen up at the same time, which I don't, but that's me personally, that'll work that way. But so a lot of people, like, they turn the low speed up when they get into like whoops or rocks or something where they want it to kind of in sand washes. And for me, I find that holds the bike. It doesn't allow the steering to do its thing, like naturally center up and do its thing if the low speed damping is in there. Because if you go to maneuver the bike and the steering is kind of slow to come around like it should, Bob, we can hear you whispering.
You heard what I said.
Yeah. No, I didn't pay attention to it, but I heard you whispering. George's mic picks it all up. So, anyways, we should get I got one right down here.
Get the thing they put around a dog, to keep it from licking itself.
We should just take it and put it in front of Bob's head. I think there's a way we can clamp it on. So anyways, I like my steering to be pretty free, but then when it hits something, I want it to kind of the damper to kick in and help, so it doesn't knock the handlebars out of my formerly strong hands. So now your mic's picking up your stomach, George. I'm turning that sucker. I hope that was your stomach. I got to turn this sucker. You got to aim it up a little bit so it's not pointing down there. So, anyways, that's what the adjustments do. And the way to check the high speed is to put the bike up on a stand. And the way that I set it is I put the bike up on a stand. And first of all, make sure that your headset is properly greased and your steering damper is properly installed, centered on the steering stem, all that stuff. Because a lot of people go, "Hey, can you check my steering damper?" And I go, how did you get this mounted? And they're like, "Oh, I bought the mounts from so-and-so and I bought this." And it's not on center. So it's not doing the damper is actually doing an arc across the thing, and the steering where it mounts to the post is all wrong. Make sure the bearings are good, all that stuff. But what I'll do is I'll take the bars, I pull them all the way over to one side, and then with the low speed kind of reduced, I slam the handlebars so that it crosses all the way back to center, and it's a really high speed hit. And then it shouldn't let the bars go over to the other steering lock. It should dampen and slow it down. And I actually like mine to stop so if I start from one side and I really give it a good tug, so that it goes and kind of hits center and only goes about a quarter of the way to the sweep. And so it's kind of if you don't have enough high speed, it'll go from one sweep all the way clank all the way over to the other sweep.
So again, it adjusts where that kicks in, or does it always kick in at center? And you turn it up and it increases the resistance from going past
center. Yeah. And so high speed would just be like, it's a high speed movement of the handlebar, and low speed is just all the time, but it only works going away from center. So it's free back to center. So that allows you, when you do get hit, when the bars do get knocked, you can put them back into center without having to fight it back. Some dampers that dampen all the time, if you hit something that knocks your wheels out of line, you have to fight just as hard to get it back. So, and I don't think that's something that, like for on road, they use that to kind of, when you go into a turn, then it holds the bike in kind of that turn, and then it makes it more stable then as well.
Well, it kind of isn't. I thought it was always for like a wobble,
and also for
high speed wobble.
Yeah, an oscillation. High speed wobble. Yeah.
So if you took the low speed and turned it up, say in sand, to keep your wheel from wandering around, or deep gravel, what's the effect of that at the end of the day, in your opinion?
That, since it depends on how you ride the bike. If you're heavy on the handlebars, and it will help keep the bars from going away when you start falling onto the handlebars, and you start turning it. But if you watch guys when they ride, and there's a lot of weight up on the handlebars, when the bike starts shaking, all that weight causes it to shake. So it dampens the energy you're putting into the bars as well. Maybe that's a good thing for somebody that's not managing their if that's the way they want to do their riding style, it could be a good thing. But I think the one advantage is always kind of the free back to center. But when I hop on someone's bike and they have their damper set pretty tight, when I hop on it and I go to turn, I lean the bike and I just expect the bars to kind of move, and they don't. It's like the wheel stays straight, or it's really slow it's like I lose my balance. Because
so basically, if you got to turn it up, you're steering the motorcycle with the bars, which is contrary to everything you might learn at jimmylewisoffroad.com.
Yeah, I do have a riding school.
I think so.
Oh, it just started up last week. That's right. We did a class this weekend.
Yeah. Eric, hopefully that answered your question. There's another one up here.
Yeah. If you have a question, I got a B+ for that answer, I think.
No, that was me.
Oh, you got a B+?
Something.
Oh, for your reading.
So this next one is from Mac Thompson. Hey, Jimmy, I have a 2014 Beta 300RR and love it. It's been nothing but dead reliable. Coming on my third season, summer and winter with it. I also use it as a snow bike. It has 175 hours on it now, and I'm on my third piston. How much life can I expect out of it, and when should I do the bottom end? How many hours can a two-stroke motor really last if maintained? Sounds like he knows how many hours a piston will last because he's put 3 of them in, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask for a two-stroke. A snow thing?
Tug a snow bike?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the 300 makes as much power as a 4-stroke for the most part. As a 400, 450 or 500 horse or 500 cc 4-stroke. So, I mean, he's and the bike's a little bit lighter, but those snow bikes just drain the power out of it. But running a bike like, under load isn't that hard on it per se. Unless you over revving or, doing strange stuff. Boy, out of
the question I have is he says he replaced the piston.
Yeah.
But doesn't say if it needed it.
I mean, you can just look like, when it's like, here's a piston. When there starts getting blow by, it's time. It's time to replace it. But we pulled a Beta apart that had 300 hours on it. It was Big John's bike, and it was actually 2014 also. So I think we put a crank in it when we did that. I think we just did it out of kind of preventative. And I don't recall whether he had done it before, but it was at 300 hours when we pulled it apart, it was like, I want to say loose, but in a good way. Like, how 2-strokes run really, really good right before they blow up. It was like that. It was, and that I can feel that with my 125s. When the 125 starts running just incredibly good, it's like, oh, better go look at the crank. The big end, usually the big end is getting kind of loose. But there's measurements you can do. There's free play measurements that you can do on the crank to tell you. But I mean, if you're getting, if you're up to like 200 hours and stuff, the next time you pull apart, it probably wouldn't be bad to throw a crank in it.
So it sounds like 3 seasons. Wait, let me. Third piston at 175 hours.
Yeah.
So you're saying next time he goes in there and do the crank?
I mean, if you're you're running it really hard and getting good use out of it. I mean, the snow bike thing worries me just a little bit. Like I said, that's think about like when it's pushing all that stuff, it's got to push that hard on that crankshaft. And
those don't have a heavier crankshaft like the 4-stroke would have, where you've got all that inertia going more. It seems like the big 4-stroke's got a lot of inertia going.
But I'm sure it has plenty of inertia. I mean, that's the Beta does have a pretty robust crank in there. It's not by any means. It's not. That's why that bike weighs almost, like, compared to a KTM, they're almost 20 pounds heavier. So if you ask me like, hey, which current bike would you rather put a snow bike on? I'd probably go that Beta, because the transmissions, everything in it's a little bit bigger. They seem to be pretty reliable.
That was a 300 RR we were riding, right?
Yeah, you rode one this weekend. Yeah,
but that's a 20 or 21?
21. Yeah, doing it. How'd you like that?
It's a nice bike. It runs good.
Yeah,
it's not my 300 KTM, but runs good. I was cracking up when you were going across that ditch on the last day. Jim and I were talking about that. So Jimmy stops the group. We're riding from point A to point B.
Teachable moment, George.
Kind of it's a hard way, easy way thing. So these are the guys that wanted to go the hard way. And Jimmy sees a ditch, 10 feet across?
Yeah.
10, maybe 4 feet deep in the center, square edges. We stop there, we're waiting. Jimmy goes along and just over the squared off part, just kind of rides over it. You don't hear much from the bike or anything. Cool. Wow, how'd that happen? Did that. Then he goes back and demonstrates, okay, I'll drop the rear wheel on the other side and see what happens. And then he says, so, you're flying along on this and you don't want to hit it and like stuff your front wheel into the far side. And he kind of shrugs his shoulders and turns around and comes back and does another run at it, stuffs his front tire about a foot below this vertical and goes across it and comes out the other end. That was a Jimmy moment.
It was just to show guys how you learn, instead of like learning by crashing into that, like, because I don't know what happened, and then you probably don't know what happened. I actually go and see what happens. I showed him the right way, and then, okay, well, now you're getting more confident. Let's try it a little bit of the wrong way, a little bit more of the wrong way. Then here's really the wrong way, but not enough to where, I was going to crash, but I could have found a safer place to demonstrate that. But
that was a pretty good hit on the other side. I was surprised you went out and did that.
Well, the guy asked me.
And you didn't look that out. You weren't that out of shape going through there, right, Jim? You just.
What's the most important thing, George?
That you survive.
No, balance.
Balance and traction.
Yeah, if I was balanced, nothing bad happens. The minute you're out of balance, and all kinds of stuff goes wrong.
There's another one here for you.
Okay.
Todd Kelly, question for you experts. So that's plural, which is wrong. There's an expert here, and it's not me. I have a 19300 TPI, which is a phenomenal bike. Adding air via manipulating the air box, plus adding some fuel via the JD tuner. Would there be any benefit there? So he's asking. A couple other internet experts, and he quotes it, so I like Todd. A couple other internet experts mentioned cutting the little plastic tab on the airbox cover, saying the TPI can benefit from more air. Does unplugging the ECU reset anything? Another question, do these ECUs have any on-the-fly adjustment or learning function?
So, no, there's no on-the-fly adjustment with the, other than the normal stuff. Just it on the 19, it takes an ambient air pressure check when you start it up. And I don't know how much it does while it's running. I don't think it does a whole lot. And so it knows when you start it up, it knows what the air pressure is. It knows what the temperature is. I think other than that, it's not like reading exhaust gases or anything like that. It's not closed loop. So in that thing, does unplugging the ECU do anything? No, it's not gonna hurt it to unplug the ECU. Does it have any learning? No, not really. It can learn when you plug it back into the dealer tool. And they can learn it to something different, and there have been updates for those bikes. So, and I would if it's been a while since it's been updated, I know there have been some updates, and you could probably have your dealer throw that in. It'd be a good idea. So internet experts. So it's a system, and I'm not sure. So what are you trying to get? Would there be any benefit for adding the fuel and cutting the airbox? What are you trying to get? Do you want it's going to take a pretty big throttle opening, it's going to take wide open before that type of modification is really going to come into play. Sometimes it changes throttle response when you open the airbox up because it doesn't act a little bit like a vacuum, but I don't. Yeah, you can get it to do almost anything. At least you just didn't cut the airbox open and expect it to be better because you heard some internet expert. They probably should have just cut the muffler off too.
How were you in King of Motos, which you rode last year on a 19300 TPI?
Right.
Pretty stock bike, right? Mm-hmm. Pipe.
Well, it had a pipe and a tuner on it.
And you adjusted the power valve a little, but that's it.
Nope. Yep. That's all I did.
No extra oil in the gas tank.
No, I didn't put extra oil. I didn't buy the fitting that's maybe straight where it comes out of the fuel tank instead of doing.
So were you ever, or how often were you wide open against the throttle stop
in that race? Bike? Never. No. Rarely. We did that. We did that. The prologue thing. We started on the short course. It was wide open there.
Okay, for a short while.
For a short while, but it went plenty fast. You can do all that stuff, and then you can play with it because it can change the character. But if you said, I want to get this type of power, and would the airbox help that, I might be able to guess. But my major guess is no, that it's probably not going to make a huge difference. It might just change the character. That's what I would guess.
Mike Osborne says you can tell Scott's, that is
the Scott stamper. If it has an R stamped on the front of it,
it's the road one.
Yep, because I think it's the cover. I think it's actually on the cover.
Who's
it's on
this
the upper cover.
Who's this next clown that put up
Paul Neff? I know that guy. Paul Neff, he was actually, I was going to do the Sonora Rally in March. I'm going to do the Sonora Rally. Besides robbing a bank.
See, he wants me to sponsor him.
Getting. Yeah.
You missed your chance on, Catalina?
Is that what he was supposed to do for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And notice how he answered the question, and his wife joined right after, underneath the check to see how the sponsorship was going.
Yeah. So he wants any other tips for the rally, for his rally program. Has Paul got? I don't know.
He's going to go try to ride the Sonora Rally.
Nice.
Any other tip? No, you just the first one you learn. The whole first one is just a learning experience. That's all it is. You just go there and learn, and you don't really even know what to start learning or how to prepare, other than maybe talking to some people that have done it. And I have not done the Sonora Rally, so I can't tell you specifically about that one. But you just go there with a program that's designed to just be there to learn, and that's it. No other. Learn and finish, because if you practice not finishing, that's not a good habit to get into.
Call me Paul, but you're. If I sponsor you, you'll have to have this all over and maybe this.
Yeah.
Okay. These are available for just $69.95.
They're wind flags?
That's a flag for my RV.
Oh, for your RV. You pull it up on the thing when it's time to come over and have a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then the guy in the beta said he replaced the piston every 50 hours for preventative maintenance, and he says snow biking is wide open throttle all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's asking a lot of anything.
Yeah, I don't think wide open is that hard on a piston for some reason. I don't think it's that bad. I think they're kind of designed to run like that.
If it's under load, not just overspinning, it's probably okay. You know what I mean? If it's not.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely more pressure inside that stuff. Scott Zundell, do you plan on reviewing the WP Explorer 6500 fork cartridges? Not just yet. I just saw so WP just announced today that they basically have works kit suspension for your KTM open cartridge forks. So they just a little bit back they announced like full kit suspension for it. So the entire shock, the entire fork, and then now they have a cartridge. And I didn't read carefully that thing, but I think it's a closed cartridge. I like the open cartridge fork for the way I ride that bike. It's pretty good. And Victor says he wants to run your flag in the LA B2V.
Of course he does.
Yeah. So I got the questions from the where do these come from? I don't know. Maybe the emails. So we'll hit the email segment of the questions. It says, DBT, I've been listening to T4, that's what we call this show, Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, and love this show. I just got my 21 KTM 300X CW, and I am pretty disappointed it does not come with a spark arrestor. Gleaming knowledge from T4, adding a PC 296 spark arrestor silencer for maximum noise reduction will also require a fuel tuner to compensate fueling for adding the new silencer. This is becoming quite an expensive spark arrestor. Like Jimmy, I am cheap and resourceful. Since my new silencer is essentially worthless, I think I will now have to know how to hack in a PC or FMF replacement spark arrestor screen into the stock silencer. Would this get clogged on a TPI, or do they run that clean? I read on the web toilet that proper two-stroke silencer is also baffled to avoid gumming up the screen. I would rather spend my money on a DBT t-shirt or tequila donation. Please advise. Raymond Wind. I think Raymond's the guy who's been waiting for his t-shirt for over a week now. Come to think of it. So I actually I answered him. I sent this email back. So let's see. So really just throwing a spark arrestor on the back of the TPI bike does not require the tuner. But to get it to run perfect back to perfect, it does. And we did that on your bike, didn't we? We were throwing that spark arrestor on and off without doing the fueling changes. Remember that day we were just doing all kinds of pipes, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't perfect, but what did it do? It had a characteristic.
I don't remember.
I have to look at my notes, but it did change something, and didn't matter. We had a couple different types of spark arrestors that I put on there, and it changed. I wish I remember it changed something, but you could get that out with a fuel tuner. It wasn't enough to where you'd have to have it. But
it's a race bike. That's why it doesn't come with a spark arrestor, right?
They're sold as closed course competition bikes. Yes. And so Peanut Gallery's got a comment. There are options. I'm gonna go through my thought train here. There are options that you can do. Like Enduro Engineering makes a bolt-on end piece. I think Promo Billet. I know they have them for 4 strokes. I don't know if they have one for a 2-stroke. George is doing the research right now. This is what Logan needs to learn how to do. Learn how to type that stuff into his little phone. But there's end caps you can put on there, and I would not hack the stock one apart to put a screen in, unless it was real easy to get the screen in and out. Because what is plugging up they do run really clean, but what is clogging up the spark arrestor is essentially like unburnt oil. And no matter what, there's always going to be a little bit of that, even with the oil injection in combination with the fuel injection. It's still pretty clean, but
you Google it and you come up with a few hits here for different options from different vendors. Right.
And so they don't run a baffle, like I said, a baffle to avoid gumming up the screen. There's two different kinds of spark arrestors. So there's a screen type, and there's this other one called the Kurzman Bullet, and it's essentially a turbine looking thing that will sit at some point and has a catch. It basically, if there were a spark, and that'd be pretty rare in a 2-stroke, it would deflect the spark outwards into a kind of a catch area, and then it would cool down before it was able to exit the muffler. So those are the two different types of spark arrestors that are approved by the Forest Service. And the Kurzman Bullet pretty much is really hard to plug. The screens, I don't know. It depends on how you ride and how much, how rich your oiling is. But, I knew some guys that could clog them in about, 5 hours, Bob.
Kurzman?
No, the screen.
Oh, the screen. So my question is, I think the PC and the MFMF both have the centrifugal.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't have screens.
They do not have screens.
Right.
No.
So
and that's if if you want a no maintenance thing, spend the money and get the spark arrestor. The 296 is a good spark arrestor. It's not the quietest though. The other one is quieter. I forgot what it was called now. I totally forgot. What brand was that? I was talking to those guys the other day about advertising in our digital magazine. I can't remember who it was.
So that centrifugal, what's it do? Spin the gases around to put out the spark?
That start the flow.
It spins it, and it spins it outward and off to the side and outward, and so it basically it kind of it's a baffling device. So. Ryan, Raymond, I will. I think I'm going to try to get those shirts out this week. I hope I can do that. They got too many irons in the fire until November 3rd, and not for the reason that you're thinking.
Jimmy, the important thing is that if he gets stopped by a brown shirt, he needs to have improved stamp.
The stick, yeah. Oh, yeah. If generally they'll stick a stick down your muffler, but they also want to see this stamp on the muffler that says it's an approved spark arrestor. So I've actually seen guys that have taken the stickers off of their mufflers, and they have been given tickets because they took the sticker off even though the spark arrestor was actually inside of there. Eric Williams has a KTM 390 question. And Victor has a question now. So Victor's a top fan. I'm going straight to his question. You said that some of those bikes are sold as closed course bikes. My friend got stopped by Rangers in Hungry Valley, and you are right. But I believe that having a screen is definitely being a spark arrestor. What is your opinion on this? Just like we talked about, it has to be. If they're still doing red and green sticker times in California, so there's certain times when you can ride, quote, a polluting bike, which is a competition bike. But if you don't have that I mean, I've seen people take, screen from their window and hose clamp it to the back of their muffler. That doesn't count. They need to see the certification sticker on it.
I did that to a chainsaw long ago, and that stuff just turned red hot, and those pieces of screen were red hot and ejecting from the exhaust. So it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, Eric Williams, KTM 390. Attitude and approach to reviewing a bike is crucial. He's talking about me, gives the product a chance and analyzes within the mindset the manufacturer had. Everyone wants one bike to be everything, and it's just not possible. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. The bad reviews come from their competitors paying people to say bad things, period. It's a great first bike that can do everything but heavy motocross and heavier obstacle riding. Get an Enduro for that. It does everything else. Want to bet Eric Williams owns a KTM 390?
Yeah, probably.
I doubt that the competitors are paying people to say bad things. They can't even pay people to say good things. They just let them ride. They let them ride the bike, and then they hope that they just say all good things. But
is that 390 Adventure coming in R and a standard or something?
No, I think there's just one. Yeah, there's only they have other versions of it. They have a road going,
right?
The road going one, and
so just one.
Usually open chew a mouth open. Yeah, it's okay. Cough, it's okay. They only have that one, and I don't think any. I'd love to find out that a manufacturer was paying somebody to say bad things, because I'd be good. You could pay me. Yeah, I mean, I'd be expensive to say bad things. I'd like to have them pay me to say bad things. What was the other question here? Giannis Triple says, try the SW Mototech Evo pegs on the 390. You can adjust them to be perfectly level. You have the best review online of the bike. Congratulations. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been poking around trying to get foot pegs. Evidently, there's a box in my barn right now that has level foot pegs in it. So I'm going. That's probably what I'm going to do after this show is go out and start bolting stuff onto that thing. Maybe.
Can I ride that this week if we want an adventure ride?
Yeah, give me some of that.
I'm busy.
No,
I'm looking up those SW Motec.
Yeah, you don't need to. We already gave them a plug. Over there? Do I have a glass? No, yeah, of course I do. Oh boy, let me clean this thing out. Hey, anybody see my shirt? See what my shirt says?
I rode that the other day too. So did Erica.
Yeah, what does it say?
I can't tell what
Can't pronounce it.
It says, I don't know, Yamaha. Isn't that Yamaha?
No, it's not. It's not a Yamaha shirt.
Didn't they make those?
No, Cannondale did. Yep. The bullet ones work the best, never clog. That is correct. So he's talking about the spark rusters. Sebastian Christ. He's talking about the CRF 250L. Actually, you should read this. Can you throw in a German accent? Right. Start right there. I'm busy.
I took 5 years of German in high school.
Yeah, so read it in German accent.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that. In Germany, we don't have this cheap version you ride. Our bikes all have ABS and LED turn lights. I'm not going to do what I want to. Just wouldn't be appropriate. Here, let me cut my mustache down or something. Yeah. Sebastian's kind of an... Oh, wait, does this go on?
Yeah,
okay.
Goes on.
The bike chair's only the frame and engine with the eye. Something happened in Google Translation.
No, there's no Google translating that. That's the way
the route. Well, this is a second language. He's doing better than I could do in German.
Right.
Let's give him that.
Give him that credit.
The Rally got skid plate LED lights, other suspension with much more clearance, more ground clearance, higher seat, SEET, but that's okay. The toolbox ist, much bigger.
Ist much bigger.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good in a German accent. The brake disc is a lot larger, the bigger fuel tank, so ist shades only engine and frame. So I'm guessing it covers.
So it sounds like they have.
So they have a little
like in
different
Germany,
stuff.
it sounds like they have an R. It sounds like they do have a.
And that's the CRF 250L is what he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. CRF 250L. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I started thinking it was a 390. I've lost my train of thought there. Must have been the tequila. It says, I think that bike has LED lights here. I don't remember this cheap version. They give you Americans the cheap one.
They could.
It's got a rally skid plate, LED lights, suspension with much more clearance. The toolbox isn't much bigger. The brake disc is a lot larger and a bigger fuel tank. It's only a little bit bigger, the fuel tank. Who's buzzing? You buzzing? Is that your phone?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. At least you had the ringer turned off, unlike Bob.
I'm looking for these pegs in SW Motec.
Yeah, might not be. They might be. They sound like a unicorn to me. It's like just they don't exist. I tried a lot of places to get it.
You know, that was amazing. Surprisingly, very apparent standing on those when I first rode it. That 390, those tip pegs.
Well, most people don't know.
I'm nobody, but
they don't know what it is. They go, man, these bars are too low, and they're a little low, but they're definitely that whole bike is designed to be sat down on. So ist shades only engine and frame. I think he meant shares. It shares only the engine and frame. I'm not sure what he's comparing it to. Maybe the standard. I think he's comparing it to the standard 250L. So those small adventure bikes get a lot of traffic on our site and our reviews. Pierre Irving talking about the JD jetting tuner. I have a 2018 FE350 with the emissions deleted and the end cap on the pipe. I installed the JD tuner and the bike ran and sounded great. So I think he went with an aftermarket end pipe on the cap. Okay. The next day it started, then it stalled, and now it will not start. It just dies. Any ideas on what could be going wrong? George, I'm going to pass this over to you.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. So what did he put on there? What was the first thing he changed?
He installed the JD jetting tuner.
But it ran.
He said it ran and sounded great. He did not indicate that he rode it. So I know exactly what it is.
He said he changed
connection.
The pipe.
Huh?
He said he changed the pipe.
The pipe end cap. That shouldn't affect it. What was that?
He's not spending enough money. He needs to spend
more money. Yeah, you need to get your information from a guy that has a web store, not me, because I can't sell you anything.
Well, something unplugged or something probably. Huh?
Well, of course he played with some electronics. He disconnected the fuel injector plug and plug the thing in, and then plug so the JD interrupts the signal between the fuel injector and the wire.
But you have to ground it, right?
And then you have to ground it. So usually those things are pretty simple to do, and those are click fits. But I'll tell you where his problem probably arose from. In order to do that, you have to take the gas tank off. And when you take the gas tank off, you have to disconnect the fuel line. The fact that it started and sounded great means he put the fuel line back together, and it didn't go click. It didn't go.
So it worked for a second to pressurize and run?
Well, it actually pressurizes and runs, and when it runs and it vibrates a little bit, because he said it sounded great, that means he ran it up a little bit, and then it vibrates, and then it just gets far enough to where the little one-way valve in there shuts off and it doesn't flow anymore. So try plugging your fuel line back in. I see that happen a lot. Guys that just don't push the fuel injector, the fuel lines together, just where it disconnects from the tank into the fuel line, they don't get it to click, and therefore I would bet a small amount of money, which would be like $1, which is more than I can afford to lose, on that being, George, we make $2.42 off of each one of these Tech Talk Taco Tuesdays that we monetize. $2.42 is our average income on this show.
You said we, so I get $1.22 out of that, or so 21. You said we make.
I mean like dirt bike tests. It's like the collective thing. No, you still have to pay to be on the show. Yeah.
I pay all right.
You still have to pay to be on the show.
Chris Reel's got something up here.
He talked about well, of course, Chris, and this is really good information. Screen type spark arresters must be 0.024 inches and qualified for the rated flow in CFM. Screens and two strokes are more maintenance than the centrifugal turbine styles. Screens actually catch the condensed oil and water vapors from the reasonably cool exhaust temperatures of a two-stroke motorcycle. That's way better than I ever could have explained it. That's why we rely on him. He's our oil expert. So if you have any oil-related questions, like what is the best oil to run, or Chris really likes to hear from you if you want to tell him why your oil is better. And so he runs Oil Chit Chat. It's a podcast. It's the My Oil is Best podcast.
Well, I'm telling you, his talk on episode probably 30 something about winter fuel.
Yes.
Just keeps bouncing around in my head. I see all these posts and these things about ran great. And then, halfway home, then it wouldn't start or it did this. It was like it was out of gas. And, you need a tuner and you need this and throw $1,500 at it and it'll be fine. And it's probably winter gas.
That little nugget of knowledge has saved me so much time in chasing my tail on bikes that seemed like that never had fuel boiling issues, that all of a sudden it's going away now because the temperatures are coming back down. I had a lot of hard starting bikes that I would have been looking at checking the valves a little bit more often, just stuff that would have drove me nuts. But the fact that he told us about the winter blend fuel kind of lasting longer because of the COVID pandemic really saved all of us a lot of time. And so if you ever see Chris Reel's name in conjunction with Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, it's well worth the 45 minutes to an hour to listen to what the knowledge he dropped on those shows, because it's practical, it's common sense. It's not common sense, it's just practical, and it should be common sense.
And didn't you say you heard from Busby or whatever, the race fuel's also based on a winter summer blend?
Right.
So even if you think you're buying premium stuff at a racetrack for, what was it, $9 and something at the pump up here, it's still based on a winter summer blend. And
yeah, that's what they make it from. And they try to put stuff into it to counteract it, but he says it's still, the base is still winter blend or summer. It was winter blend fuel that we used through the summer, and he was under the impression that we are just now starting to get summer blend, and then they're going to go right back into the winter blend to begin with. George, you got a nice hat. That's a nice hat. I like your hat.
It is.
I like your style. Yeah, nice hat, nice shirt, and
product placement.
I like my shirt. Bob, do you see what my shirt says? Can you read it? Yeah, you can't. You see, I got a really good shirt. See what it says?
Official 4-0.
Yeah, Bob said it, not me. Travis Langley says, a few weeks ago, I asked Jimmy about a bike for my son. Jimmy and the gallery recommended a few different. That's not nice. Don't call George a gallery. I mean, he's a good gallery.
These are people from the last show.
He's a good gallery for showing off your products. He's a gallery with my hat on it and a dirt bike test sheet. So he's a gallery.
Broader platform for advertisement than Logan.
Including the TTR 125. I ended up with one and it's great. Thanks for the recommendations. Oh, another notch right here. Sold another bike. It is so approachable. My wife has started riding it, so my son is having to share it with her. Now looking for something for our 11-year-old daughter. Since you're a Yamaha family, Blue Crew, go with TTR 110. That's a good bike. I don't. How did you find him?
How old is his son? 11-year-old probably is that older than his son? Maybe they want something a little bigger.
I think 11-year-olds usually like that kind of mid-sized bike thing.
The next step's up like a 230 or something.
Yeah, that's way too big. So clean them. Let's see. He's talking about the screens. What clean or replace? Yeah, you just clean them. Yeah, you just wire brush it or burn it off with a blowtorch or something like that. If you're George, just throw it in the fire, let it burn. Let's see what other questions we have here. Another question on the JD tuner. Anyone know if you can use this to richen your bike to run a little cooler? And his name is 2016 KTM 450. So your 2016 KTM 450 probably, if it's stock, should run at the ideal temperature. If your bike's getting hot, I'm going to guess it's your clutch, and I don't think the JD tuner would help that. But I
wonder if that's another guy that maybe he's running winter blend fuel. He's getting some kind of adverse effects, spark knock, whatever, or overheating, whatever, and he's trying to tune it out when it might be as simple as that. It's winter blend fuel or something.
But the question we really want to know is spark knock detonation, detonation, or pre-ignition.
It's all the same.
You can use a JD jetting tuner to richen your bike, but if you're trying to get it to run cooler, I don't think richening the bike, unless the bike is really lean, would be an option. Or maybe maybe you put a really open exhaust on it, and that's causing it to run lean, and richening it. It's not going to change the temperature that much. I don't think. I mean, do lean running engines run that much hotter? I haven't really noticed a difference in I think they get hotter, like hot enough, like on a 2-stroke, it'll get, it can get really hot enough to make it seize, but your cooling system isn't going to fix that. I chased that on a Yamaha 125 one year. I had some guys that really knew how to port the cylinder. Not me. They were professionals. And they ported it for motocross, and motocross and desert racing did not work out.
So Christian, he missed the beginning of the show, but a 2020 Africa Twin versus a 1090-11. Not interested in the 1290R. We went over that at the beginning of the show. You'll just have to pull it up and watch the whole show to get your answer. How's that?
Right. Okay, so just go ahead and hit rewind now. And then, like the guy,
and watch this till 9:30 at night.
Like Ryder S. Oregon last week, he said, "I just watch an hour of this to get to the point where you talk about the point where you ride." And you know what we told him about where we ride? We're not going to tell you. No, hey Christian, thanks for joining in. By the way, I answered his question. Somebody, one of our guys, put up a post of the 2020 or 2021 Africa Twin. And he questioned about it. He said, "Hey, how is this thing?" So we're going to actually answer your question right now. So don't disappear. Actually, you should go back and listen to the beginning of the show. George makes his stomach growls. What other interesting things happen?
Bob's chips.
Bob ate chips. George did a test to make sure we don't have COVID.
Get to see my flag.
Yeah. There's all interesting things. He said not the 1290, or he said yes, including the 1290.
Not interested in the 1290.
Or is it not interested in 1290? That would be the one. Okay, so because he also, I think in his post, he also said he was kind of more 80% street on road and 20% off road. So that is the area where the Africa Twin really is a good bike, and there's a lot of good bikes. At that point, when you start saying, "Hey, I only want to go 20% off road," like. At that point, even the Ducatis and some of the Triumphs become really good options at this point. But the Africa Twin is a very comfortable. It's like the Goldwing of adventure bikes, and especially the DCT, because it's like having an automatic transmission, because it is an automatic transmission.
But you really haven't tested any. You tested the first ones, which is a couple of years ago, right?
I haven't ridden the brand new DCT, and I can only imagine that it would be improved. And if it improved, that's good. But the old one, I was really happy with it. But that bike, for that kind of riding, I think it's comfortable. It's just super smooth. The cruise control on it's really good. And on the KTM 1190, you do not get the cruise control, which, like, if you're riding a lot on the street, I kind of find that I like it. And the KTM will have a little bit more character, like a little bit more aggressive, kind of throttle response. And it's probably KTM 1190 is probably a little bit more powerful, but only by a little bit. But you're never really using that kind of level of power on those bikes. The KTM would feel a little bit lighter off road, but on road the weight is kind of it's not a bad thing. It's actually makes them comfortable. So, yeah, I think get a test ride on them. That's the only thing, because a lot of times when it comes to adventure bikes, it's like, which one do you fit on? They all have their characteristics and
I tell you, owning an 1190 previously and my 790, I really like that 790. It's got plenty of beans to do what you want to do. Now maybe 2 up. You'd notice it over 1090, 1190, passing a truck or
you notice it. Where I
foolish.
notice the smaller bikes is if you're doing out here we have these big long dirt roads and a lot of places where you can go pretty fast. And once you start going 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, that's when the bigger displacements it's not that bike can't do it. It's just that at that point you're kind of wringing its neck. And what really happens is fuel economy goes down quite a bit. You really start losing in fuel economy, and that's the other thing about out here. Big, long, fast roads that'll suck up your gas and no gas stations. So even on our KTM 1090s and 1190s, we're running auxiliary fuel tanks and stuff. So
I found my 790 just seems to get phenomenal fuel mileage if it's close to.
Try
what
to keep
the
up with me
prediction
on
is.
my 1090.
I don't try to keep up.
You should
with
try to keep
on
up.
anything.
Try to keep up with me on 1090.
Let me just share
Run out
that
of
cruise
gas.
control thing I told you about
Yeah.
in case somebody experiences it. So I had electronic cruise control. I'm going up I-5. I was in a hurry.
On your
Actually, I was in a closed course.
790?
On a 790, electronic cruise control on a closed course. But every time I got up to the change in the pavement surface of an overpass, and it would go over that bump, the cruise control would shut off. And all I can surmise is that the rear wheel would jump off the ground a little and do
wheel
that fast
sensors, yeah.
spin, and the electronic would say no moss. And it was kind of disturbing, because it about throws you over the bars when it just chops and you're not expecting it. But every time it was doing it, I tried different traction control configurations and modes and all that, and it always did it. But that's pretty cool in one way that it reacts that fast to something. Because what can that be? A half a revolution or a revolution of the tire at the most?
Oh, it doesn't take much for those sensors to pick up on stuff as sensitive as they are now, especially with all the lean angle things and stuff they have built into it. And it could be just the action of the bump. I don't know. You'd have to. Well, it
You
wouldn't
ain't messing with a switch or something? That
No,
seems-
not with a switch, but just like it knows that it got bounced.
Oh, like the
somehow.
G-force in a certain direction?
Yeah. I'd have to ask somebody that actually knows.
Do that and get back to me, okay? 'Cause it's troublesome.
Somebody pre-ignition is caused. So Craig Alberts, pre-ignition is caused by the presence of something in the cylinder hot enough to act as an ignition source. Detonation is caused by anything that adds heat to the last small volumes of unburned mixture out near the cylinder wall. There we have it. Now you know. I'm smarter about that too. That's exactly what I thought it was, but I couldn't explain it.
But what does it cause?
What is it? What is the cause?
When the fuel gets out toward the end of the cylinders, edges of the cylinder walls.
What does it cause? What is it called?
No, what does it cause?
The detonation.
Oh, yeah, detonation.
Gets out there where it's hotter, maybe?
It actually it takes chunks out of very small little teeny tiny chunks to start with, but it starts chipping away at the cylinder head and head gasket and piston and
Because it's
all those
not
things.
going whoosh, it's going boom.
It's like there's collisions of flame fronts and
Right.
crazy stuff like that. I'm no physicist. I just pretend like I'm one here on the Tech Talk Taco Tuesdays. Ask me more about how bikes work when you ride them, not what's going on inside. I can answer those questions.
Detonation. Chris Real. Detonation is explosion without spark.
Right.
Very high cylinder pressure and overstressed pistons, or something just popped in there and it blew me up.
Our new comments.
Yeah.
We got 5
Pushes them into the cylinder.
We got a small discussion going on Pre-ignition is random ignition in the cylinder, makes hot spots and custom fit pistons. Like that's the pistons that they stick to the cylinders. They like to mate with the cylinder when the pre-ignition. What kind of record was Jimmy trying to break? One-handed selfie live 100-mile barrier. Oh, on the KTM 390. You know, I got our KTM 390 going 105 miles an hour
on the speedometer, but we didn't really actually measure that. You have to do it both ways to actually get it recorded properly, because there could be slight variations.
There was
elevation and wind.
There was a little bit of tailwind, but not much, because which I did it going north, and that's the direction the wind was coming. It was one-handed because 105 really isn't that fast, and it was on a dry lake bed and it's perfectly flat. Of course, closed course, professional rider. Don't try this at home, Victor, even on your XR600. Craig Alberts, as an A&P myself, I forgot we learned about this stuff. An A&P.
Airframe and power plant mechanic.
Airframe and power plant mechanic? Okay. Yeah. Is that better than the communication arts major?
Well, they have licenses.
Yeah.
Communication arts.
Yeah. Let's see. So we already got to Ryder S. Oregon. And Pigard 26. He says at 31 minutes and 47 seconds. First of all, I can't believe you listened for that long. In the dirt bike question, does not have a strong metal. The dirt bike in question does not have a strong metal subframe. Your luggage capacity is significantly reduced. Also, fuel economy of a two-stroke is too low, so total distance is negatively impacted. I would only do a weekender on a two-stroke. And he's talking about, someone asked me if I would do the Tour of Idaho on a two-stroke and what I thought of it. And I didn't think it was that great of an idea. So that's the answer there. I was trying to get, I'm going to try to get Brett Smith on the phone here. It happened to, let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, George, you got to carry the show. Talk about the guy. What does XT Tenere say?
This is very short. XT on the Tenere. This bike really takes care of you. Thank you, XT on the Tenere.
Hello?
Hey, Brett, you're live on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So this is Brett Smith of We Went Fast. Here, grab that. Let's see if we can grab a sticker. I got a sticker right here on the table. My table of the podcast is I'll put you on Travis's head here. So you're
Who's the co-host?
This is George. It's spelled Jorge. It's like
almost Jorge.
George.
It's Jorge,
hey.
And he's Chinese though, so don't make any Mexican jokes.
Got it.
So Brett, what did you get to do this weekend?
We rode a GNCC. I would say race, but I put it in my head that I was not going to try to race. In fact, I
like how he said we, George.
We.
Does that mean I was doing it too?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so we raced
because
the GNCC.
it's a team effort, Jimmy.
There you go.
It's a team effort.
Right.
We had Nate, the mechanic. John Hines was there giving me advice. He runs some company called KTM. Auntie gave me advice.
You had Ryan Sipes
Blake
there
Kelly.
giving you advice too, right?
No, Ryan was not able to make it. He got a bunch of rain this past week, and he was not able to get ready for his big Nitro Circus pit bike race that he's doing this Halloween weekend. So he kind of bailed. He had to get ready for his race. But I was sure to hit up everyone else for advice. I even hit up Zach Osborne via text message and said, "What's your advice for me? You just raced one of these." And he said, when the guy yells 10 seconds, you have 10 seconds until the flag goes up. And I don't know what I was paying attention to, but I was not looking at the flag. And when all the bikes took off, I look around and I was sitting there by myself. And I went into the first corner last, which is fine with me because 2 waves ahead of us, they literally carted the dude off on a stretcher.
Oh, gee.
I'm like, we're in the middle of a flat cornfield and someone got taken off on a stretcher. Like, I don't really have the desire to go in and bang bars right now on a 125.
So Brett Smith is the owner of We Went Fast, and he is a teller of stories of historical value in the motorcycle community. And so he made the mistake of telling me, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were talking, how did we start talking about 125s?
I was writing a story about the PW50, which you can find at wewentfast.com, Little Giant, the PW50 story. I wanted to know something about the Yamaha 125 and the last time it had been overhauled. And I just said, I love 125s. I really miss racing them. And then this opportunity came up for you to test the KTM 125 XC.
Right,
and
yeah.
You didn't forget that.
Yeah, so I went to all my usual sources for test riders, and then it went ding. And when was the last time you raced, Brett?
The last real race I did was probably when I did the industry class at a GNCC in 03.
Wow. Oh, so you're a pretty much a seasoned GNCC rider.
Yep.
Yeah,
this last weekend was my second GNCC ever. That is one more GNCC than Axel Hodges has now done.
Okay, that's good. Name
and
dropping.
I really embarrassed myself on that start too because I couldn't get Rodney Smith's Suzuki started on the line, and I was sitting there by myself kicking it. But you don't have to kick motorcycles anymore.
No. And
because they have electric start, which was absolutely amazing.
Well, yeah, and why do you need literally why do you need an electric start on a 125? Or a PETA or a mini bike as well. That's why
so I wrote about this in the article that I'm writing for you.
Okay.
And basically it's why not? If you have the capability. It's like this is what I wrote in the article. It's like keyless entry on our vehicles. Well, maybe not my vehicle because I drive a 20-year-old truck. I still unlock it with a key. It's like that one little micro step in your life, like a micro inconvenience that once you live with it, just the ability to unlock your car as you're walking to it. You don't have to take that little extra 1 second to stick the key in the hole and turn it and open. You know what I mean? If you have a really modern car, you just start the thing as you're walking toward it, and then the thing's already started for you. You don't even have to stick the key in the ignition and turn it.
That's
so
why
you just saved yourself 3 seconds, and
and when you're my age, that's like 10 minutes of your life that's gone.
There
right?
you go, right, Jorge?
Yep.
I mean, pushing that button, and we were doing photos with Shan, all that, test ride photos, all that
starting and stopping, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to kick it.
Yeah,
I kicked it once.
That's why I prefer
sake.
I prefer the TTR 50 over the PW 50 just for the exact same reason you just talked about. I don't like to kickstart anything.
It was weird at first because the only other electric bike I've ever ridden was the Alta, which didn't have a Kickstarter for obvious reasons, but it was a little strange at first, but it was amazing. Once I did it 5 times, I'm like, yeah, why would you want to kickstart a motorcycle?
So we got to get to the chase here. So how did you finish? How did you represent? You put Dirt Bike Test up on the podium, right?
No.
Oh.
I didn't even. Well, no. Jesse Ziegler and I went and looked. He's like, I want to see how I did. I'm like, oh, okay. We go over there.
I know you smoked Jesse. That's you don't have to worry about that.
He's fast. We looked on the results sheet and we weren't there. I'm like, okay, well, I don't care. I got lapped. I mean, when Becca Sheets went by me, over the bars, elbows out.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she about spun me backwards. It was insane how fast she was going. So we weren't on the results sheet, but Jesse really, really wanted to know how he did. So when we saw Kerry Coombs in the parking lot after at the end of the day, he goes, hey, can you radio, control center? And we didn't make the results sheet, and she did. It got us on the sheet. So we got 8th out of 10. I think the other 2 people just pulled off.
Did you ride XC3 class or industry?
No, we rode industry.
Industry, right.
Yeah,
Morning
Jesse
race.
got 4th. I got 8th. Someone named Heath Harrison, who I think's a former pro, won. He was hauling the mail.
I used to ride the industry race. It's better because you ride in the morning. You know how bad that course was on your last lap?
That course changed every single lap. It was a completely different course.
Yeah, and you think about it, how bad it got from when you first. Well, actually, it usually at a GNCC, it's kind of the first lap of the morning race is kind of sucky because you're breaking down kind of the quad lines and stuff. and then it kind of gets some motorcycle lines, but you're going around in your last lap and it's kind of starting to get broke down in, rough and choppy. And then you go, this is as good as it's going to be all afternoon. And those guys have to ride 3 hours on this stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the first lap, I mean, I literally took off last and just kind of rode around, popped some wheelies in the cornfields, had fun. I mean, even though we did photos on Saturday, I didn't really get a feel for the bike then. You know what I mean? We were just hopping some logs and doing this, like we did the Pee Wee Trail. And Ron and Jesse, Ron's boss and Jesse both reminded me, the trail is not going to be like this. This is a highway. I'm like, oh, great. So we get out there. I'm just literally by myself, just getting used to the bike, feeling it out because I'm on a dirt bike test, right? I'm supposed to be evaluating this machine, letting people by as they came up behind me and just getting used to it. And it felt great. Like the motorcycle memory came back to me. I'm standing everywhere. I'm not going fast, but I'm feeling out the bike and just enjoying it, just really enjoying being in the trails and riding a motorcycle again. It was so much fun. And then the second lap, I wouldn't say getting cockier, but just feeling a lot better and a lot stronger. And I did not get arm pump, which I don't understand how. I mean, I had arm pump after the shoot on Saturday from me, like, doing the 180s, yanking the bike, pulling with my right arm because I like to lean to the left side when I do a donut or U-turn. My right forearm was just sore the next morning. And I thought, oh my God, I'm dead halfway through the first lap. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish this race. But I didn't get tired. I'd like to say, oh my God, the KTM handles so well, you won't even get arm pump. But that might be like misleading advertising.
Well, it was backed up by factual evidence. Yeah, I mean, you can say it did not provide arm pump. So the idea with our story idea was, BJ's been off the bike for a while, hasn't been riding that much, and we were just kind of like talking about, hey, 125 would be a great way to get back into it. And how far, in your opinion, has the 125 come?
Gosh, the last 125 I rode was that 05 Yamaha, the one that they overhauled. I rode it on like an exhibition race at Glen Helen, like 3 laps or something. It's
still the same.
So that's what I have to compare it
right.
to. So I don't know if that's fair, but it was everything I needed it to be. Yeah. So on Saturday we went out to watch a little bit of ATV racing. We thought we were going to have to climb like FMF PowerPoint Hill, which is some like gnarly hill out there on the course. And I'm watching the ATVs try to get up this thing, and they're just just like barely making it. I'm thinking, holy shit, this is going to be rough tomorrow. Like, how am I going to do this? These ATV pro riders are barely making it up this. Comparing a motorcycle to an ATV is not, it's not apples to apples. And so I'm nervous. I'm just nervous about these hills and stuff. Oh, man, for one, I'm on a 125. 2, I haven't ridden anything like this in a long time. But once I got out there, that bike, it's light, it's nimble. I chugged along in second, third gear. I didn't even have to get it up on the pipe to get up anything I wanted to go up. It just lugged along.
It's kind of surprising how much better. That's what I was kind of getting at, is just like when you start thinking about 125, especially older guys, it's like, oh, peaky power band, always having to slip the clutch and you have to do everything with RPM. And in fact, now, they've got the jetting so good. They've got the power valves in them working so good. Those bikes really have a pretty long spread of power, and they're easy to keep in the power.
So is that what it is? Because I literally did not know how to put that in the words that you just did. But that's my memory of watching the ATVs and my memory of riding a 125, because I did hare scrambles as a kid in Michigan back in the mid 90s. I was a lot faster then, you know what I mean? So I knew how to keep things on the pipe, and I guess you had to. And you're right. I did not. The only time that bike got on the pipe was when we were ripping across the
cornfields. Yeah.
And I did that just to listen to the sound, you know what I mean? Because it's so much fun to listen to it and feel that power. But in the woods and the tight stuff, no, I was not on the pipe. I'm a good technical rider because I'm a mountain biker and I ride in like really nasty East Coast rocky routes type of stuff, out of the saddle, a lot of balance. So in those situations, I felt great, and that KTM felt like a mountain bike underneath me because it was so light and easy to maneuver. And that's where, like on the second lap, I started catching people, and then I'm getting it behind people. I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm not racing here, but I want to get by these guys. And then we get to the cornfield, and they would hear that 125, and I would start to wick it up, and like, I'm not going to let a 125 pass me. They get on my show and try to pull away from you. And so I caught myself like wanting to drag race dudes into the back into the woods and stuff. But
so it sounds like it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's and I mean, it's like anytime you say like 125, it's just all of a sudden I go, that's fun. It doesn't matter what brand. It's just 125s are just a lot of fun, but they're amazingly capable, and that was and a lot of the reason we decided, or I decided to have you go do that is because you could tell the tale from a different thing. You may not be able to describe the power exactly compared to whether it's what it's like compared to the Yamaha or the Husky, but we do that on this end, so we'll get a better story out of it with you.
It did make me wonder though, like why isn't that even on KTM's today? I was looking at their brochure, what's on their website, and I don't have my computer in front of me, but they would describe it as like entry level way to get in for the younger rider. I mean, even they're advertising it as like a stepping stone kind of bike, and I wonder, like, are we like conditioning, the Moto community to want something bigger and more powerful? Like this was plenty bike for me. I'm only 140, and I know not every, man and woman is 140 pounds soaking wet, but I'm sure it's plenty of bike for people.
I'm 200 pounds, and that's what I take to the motocross track by choice. I have a 2005 YZ 125, and that's the bike I go ride there for fun because it kind of keeps me in check, and it does it goes plenty fast. They're super super capable. So
I just wonder if people get themselves into trouble by buying too much bike, and if it hurts them in the long run.
That's a marketing ploy. That like the 390, they kind of entry level adventure bike.
Oh, yeah,
the entry level bike is the 1290 Super Psycho adventure bike because people go buy that first because it's the biggest, baddest, and then they go backwards from there. I think it's a great marketing ploy.
and then it's not that they get sold the bigger bike. They buy the bigger bike and then they have to do the power up kit. You got to add the stuff.
Yeah.
So wow. It's American mentality, man.
And believe me, you can get hurt on a 50. Look up George's belly flop or whatever.
Broke a couple ribs. How come the flat track was not watered today? That was really disappointing.
We were riding, Jimmy. I don't think you were. Did you ride today, Jimmy?
You didn't ask my advice of where to go ride. You went and rode crappy roads all day. It would have been more fun to be on that flat track for at least 3 hours this afternoon. Yeah, agreed. I don't have time, but it would have been fun. So, anyways, so are we going to get that in time to stuff into our digital mag? Your quick little riding impression?
Yeah, I got to finish that. I'll have it definitely done tomorrow.
I remember. You see, this is editor talk. He was like, "Yeah, I'll have it done on the plane, there, Chief."
I started it. That flight was an hour. I was just so wiped.
You can't bang out a full bike test in an hour. I mean, that's how that's how the Instagrammers do it. Actually. We should have done just an Instagram post and told KTM we're done. That I think that would have, and if you can, go buy a couple thousand Chinese likes, we'd be all good. Some thumbs ups.
Just cut and paste the specs off of something and put it up there.
Yeah, cut and paste the specs. So, anyways, hey BJ, thanks for doing this. We have one of his stories coming in our first digital issue that's gonna come out on November 3rd. I will surprise you with that one. And after reading the PW thing, I'm like, oh man, I wish we would have had this. So that
was a fun story.
Yeah, we'll think of some other good ones. And once this thing starts picking up some wheels, then we can actually pay our contributors and stuff when more than tacos.
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Did they feed you okay?
Yes.
Yeah, good. And then you're also doing a story for the AMA magazine too about kind of getting back into it. Yeah.
Yeah, just about, being someone who used to ride, used to race, coming back to it after a long layoff, just that experience and what that was like,
Yeah. So you'll get to see a lot about BJ's experience and it should be cool. But anyways, thanks again for coming on. Thanks for staying up late. He's back east right now. He's got to take care of the family and, right on. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah, nursing my sore muscles too.
They make tequila for that. Right?
I need some.
Well, cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, talk to you soon. See ya.
Bye.
So that was BJ Smith, who's also he used to write some really good stories for us at Dirt Rider magazine when I was there. A lot of feature stories. He's I don't know if he's an analyst or he does a lot of stuff with ESPN at the X Games and stuff. He's the one that feeds the announcers the facts. He goes and gets the facts, and he's really good with remembering stats and things like that. He'll just drop nuggets of knowledge, and you're like, wow, how do you remember that stuff? Which is pretty cool. He also writes a lot for Racer X. He would do stories there. And hold his book up.
I was wondering.
That's his book that he got. He acquired it from another moto historian guy. So this is Grand Prix Motocross, and you can get that on We Went Fast. I put that out there, and like Logan got enamored with that book. There's some really cool photos in there, and of course he didn't read it. He was just looking at the photos of the old bikes and stuff because his dad has a couple of those in the garage. Come to find out,
there's got to be stuff in here about.
He has a Hodaka 125 in the garage.
That Catalina Grand Prix. I'm bummed that didn't happen this last year because of COVID or whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't want to race it.
So for Logan, it's like looking at the glyphs on an Egyptian pyramid.
Hieroglyphics, yeah, hieroglyphics of motorcycles, exactly. So
somebody would like to hear you pronounce the 3 names in KTM, and they're on there.
Pronounce so I can pronounce Trunk and Bolts because I met his, I don't know if his grandson. He was actually. He was on the Dakar Rally when I rode for KTM in 96 and 97. He actually was one of the guys. I don't know if he operated as a team manager or something, but so the other one is Kraft Farz Unjig. I tried to spell it out. Is that good?
Yeah, that's real good, Jimmy.
And the last one is Mattighofen.
Have you met them?
Mattighofen?
Any of them?
No,
Descendants?
just Trunk and Bolts.
Yeah.
Mattighofen's a city.
Thank God it doesn't say that all the way across a gas tank or whatever, huh?
I just thank God I don't have
They
to.
just truncate it like Husa on one side and Berg on the other. Hit the bell.
Someone's going to educate me about how to say that properly. I'm sure it'll come in. A new KTM 125 is awesome, says Craig Hill. Definitely not a 78 RM125 that sounded like it was going to kill you on the pipe until your 500 RPM power band ran out. Yes. And then there's one other. Curly Stoker says, something with more power. I wonder if there was anything that could be considered the most powerful bike. Something that makes a lot of power. I think he's talking about everybody their hands are hovering over the bells. Well, I have to paraphrase this because like I have a KTM 1090, right? And I have a KTM 1190. And those bikes make more power than the bike in question here. But per cylinder, and that's all. You know who I let ride the Husaberg 570 this weekend?
Well, I rode it a little bit because you took off on the bike, the Beta, so I just jumped on it.
Right.
But Erica rode it, really liked it.
Well, I had to so I don't remember what I had. Oh, I wanted to get the Beta for the last. I wanted to test some stuff on the Beta because I finished up writing the test and I wanted to do some suspension clicker adjustments before I wrote the test. I wanted to try a couple things. I wanted to find out where the fork started getting harsh and where it got too soft. So
is that why you ran it into that wall?
Partially. I actually Erica was riding away on it. I chased her down and said, "Hey, switch bikes." And she's like, the Husaberg? And I'm like, yeah, don't worry, you can ride. She's like all of 4'3" or something. I don't know how tall she is. Not very tall. So she climbed. I'm like, don't worry, it's just like any other motorcycle. Just ride it. And
You said the Husaberg was just like any other motorcycle right now.
That's what I said. That's what I told her. I didn't, because I mean, she's probably heard me talk about it.
That's a big statement. Just like they did the presidential thing. You know how Trump was doing. That's a big statement. I hope all you Husaberg fans heard that.
Zip it. You can't even pronounce the name right.
Well, I've been drinking all night. What do you expect? Jim's driving me.
So I just tried to get her to shut. She literally needed to have counseling with me after riding that thing back. Like she can't. Well, we're gonna fill that thing up, right? Empty.
She's only 100 pounds.
I know. That is like
friggin' 200 pounds.
I still look like a flag when I twist the throttle on that thing. I'm like a flag on the back. My body doesn't even stay on the bike. It gets turned sideways like a flag and starts whipping in the wind.
Imagine if there was half of you.
I know. I couldn't even imagine. That's why I said she needed counseling. She's like, I couldn't believe it. I said, so you turn the throttle what, an eighth of a turn? Like it just cracked off a vital, right? So yeah. I'm trying to save all these guys that I know that are doing these drinking challenges, waiting to see how many times I say Husaberg 570 and start talking about how much power it has. Sometimes I want you guys to all suffer like I did for 3 weeks on the old detox program. So Craig Albert says, do it. Husaberg 570. See, I'm wearing a Husaberg shirt.
Can they see it behind the computer?
Yeah, it pops up over the top. I wish if my boobies were a little bit bigger, but I thinned up a little bit by not drinking so much too, by the way, which was the main reason for the whole program. But it says 4-stroke force. That's what it says. And there's definitely some force inside of that motor. I think that's a 2010, that one. That thing's getting ancient. But I'm sorry to everybody for driving the price up on those things. You can't buy them used anymore because I talk about them, and now I'm wrecking the prices of YZ125s evidently, and mini bikes. So, but you can get TTR 125s, I'm told, and all good with that. So, does anybody else have any other questions? Do we have any other? Bob, you raised your hands a few times today. I did my best to ignore. We've covered all the important. I wore them. All the important subjects. Jim from New York. Any questions out there in the peanut gallery, as they like to call it? Nope. All your questions have been satisfactory.
Gonna read the book.
You're gonna read Monkey Butt. Yeah, I'm gonna let Jim borrow Monkey Butt. This is a book of Travis is doing it in a normal position. Monkey Butt it's a Tall Tales bench racing and the inside story of 30 years in the sport. So this was kind of the history of Dirt Bike magazine,
and that's the one Nate's in, right?
Oh yeah, Nate's in there. Crazy Nate is a character in that story. So if I think you can still pick it up. I'm pretty sure Rick will sell you anything, including his photo collection, maps of the old Barstow to Vegas, all that stuff. He actually gave me permission to write Monkey Butt too, and I might actually be working on something like that. So I've been doing some research. Although there's certain things you want to learn from this book, and certain stuff it just don't do that. Don't do that. Good stories. Dennis wants to know when my January class dates are needed. We got to announce our December ones first. We do. Hey, this COVID thing, it's like nobody, we just don't know when, if things are going to happen because it's like flu season, or if it's going to just magically go away in 3 weeks. It just don't know. It's
yeah,
all.
I'm surprised
Away in 7 days.
Did you think that out? Your digital magazine.
I'm releasing it on November 3rd.
It on the election day.
It's because...
Is it going to get overshadowed? What's the deal?
Absolutely not. It's like on that day, 50% of this country is going to need something good to see, and that's what my magazine is going to be. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. 50% of you are going to be really pissed off, and you're going to need some good news. So
this could be what brings a nation back together.
That's what I was thinking.
Right?
I was thinking because there's going to be so much crap floating around on that day, and on that day you're going to get to read about dirt bikes, and dirt bikes make everything good.
Well,
so
probably forget about all that other crap that's going on.
Yeah, and then everything will be fine somehow or another. I hope. Just be good people. That's all I want people to do is be good people. So yeah, I'm going to announce the December class. We have a few spots open in our what class is it? November? Yeah, November.
7th and 8th.
Yeah, I got tons of rally training stuff coming on. It's getting into that season, so getting busy. I need to start wearing more warm climb gear. So Climb is a big supporter of this podcast. Actually, what I was thinking about today is I was going through some old photos and I saw some picture of their Aggressor body armor. And I was noticing, since you two clowns are here, if we go out in the flat track, I'm going to have to wear that because I have no idea where you guys are going at any time, especially when you get on that powerful 50.
Jim turns consistent laps.
I know,
Jim
but between the two of you, him being so smooth and consistent and you not knowing where to go, and I'm just trying to thread the needle, it gets ugly.
I need a tuner for that 50, and I'm going to make you all look bad.
It already has a bore kit on it. It's bored out.
That's why
it's
put
got
me down.
It's got some BBR stuff on it. Yeah, it's all there.
No wonder.
So yeah, go sign up for my class. Buy some climb gear. Rekluse clutches. Did you use a Rekluse today?
Yes.
Did you use a Rekluse today?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Bob. Did you put the rear brake on your bike?
I need to talk to you about that.
Oh no.
Can I just take it from him and put it on my bike?
I have one in the garage right now. You want to try it tomorrow?
I'd love to put it on
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
It's going to take a while to install.
Because my rear brake at the foot peg is out of play in a lot of situations if I'm trying to do anything because my leg's too short. If my foot's on the right, on the left side on the ground, I can't reach that brake at all for like a turn.
So you've not used a left-hand brake before?
Well, just
Casually on somebody else's bike.
riding
Okay.
somewhere.
Yeah. Bob is a big fan. I have not been able to adapt to him before. So
I have a Clake at home in the
That's-
box, but that's just kind of a novelty.
You haven't adapted to them.
I think I put it behind it. I'm going to put that Clake in a shadow box and hang it up because it looks really cool.
Yeah. So, and then there is a KTM. Go ahead, George. That's your cue.
Oh, I think your fans want to hear you read it.
Oh, want to hear me read it?
Yeah.
I can knock this thing out of the park. So, and the other thing I was going to tell you when you read this, I timed you because you said it was 40 seconds and it took less than 30. So we'll go ahead and kind of watch this right now. Powered by a distinct ready-to-race mentality, KTM is the world's leading high-performance street and off-road sport motorcycle manufacturer with North American headquarters based in Murrieta, California. Over the years, KTM has built a reputation as a fierce competitor on racetracks around the world, and the brand's remarkable global success is reflected in every product it develops and every move it makes. 30 seconds on the dot.
Nice.
Yeah.
The best one was the Rottweiler guy, I think, read that. He did pretty good.
Oh, he did really good. Yeah, Chris.
You should just replay that so you don't have to torture Logan with it every week and just play it.
It's fun.
Put punches
It's fun.
in.
People
People
Logan,
like it.
like Logan, take that.
Your fans like it. Logan hurt himself.
Hey, well, we found out that it's proven, scientifically proven, that if we keep reading that, everybody that's influenced by that, hearing that, ends up buying a KTM. So I'll just go around the horn. Bob, what kind of bike do you ride?
KTM.
Jim, what kind of bike do you ride? Two of them, KTMs. What do you have?
Vespa.
I didn't see you
I
riding
have
any
two
Vespa.
Vespas. Today, what did I ride?
Yeah.
KTM.
Yeah, and I have a lot of KTM, so it's scientifically proven that advertising is paying off huge, and that's why their rates are probably going to go skyrocketing through the roof. Yeah, it's subliminal. Yeah, and we hardly talked about the beta today, right? That's the competition, by the way.
Yeah.
So, okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining in. I'm pretty sure my internet bills we're past our budget on that. Like if you're, like this, hey, share it with your friends. When your friends have goofy motorcycle questions with you all the time, go, hey, I know there's a thing you can listen to for like an hour and a half a week, and it'll hurt your ears, but you'll learn something. Do that. Comment on the YouTubes, all the things. Give us thumbs ups, lots of thumbs ups. However you do that, that makes more money for us, I'm sure, somehow.
Oh, here, let me hit that button.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to thumbs up myself right now, too.
What kind of tequila?
What kind of tequila was it tonight? It was courtesy of Suzanne, my tequila nest.
One of the 6 200 plus tequila. People, right?
Terramana small batch tequila, and this is the Rock. You know the Rock, like the Dwayne Johnson. That's right there. He signed
That's
it.
his stuff?
It's his stuff on the back. So, all good with that. And with that, we will see you out on the trail. So, cheers. So that exciting episode of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday was brought to you by Rekluse. Rekluse is a maker of incredible auto clutches and a whole lot more in the clutch department. They make street bike clutches. They make dirt bike clutches. They have clutches for your adventure bike. Some of them are auto clutches. They make a lot of replacement parts in the manual clutch, their torque drive system. There's little parts like slave units. There's protection parts. There's the left-hand rear brake, all kinds of stuff for your clutch and transmission, even oil. So if you need to know a little bit more about Rekluse, you can always check them out at www.rekluse.com. That's spelled Rekluse, proudly designed and manufactured in Idaho. Remember to support all of the sponsors that support this show, and we will see you in the next episode.